Alright, welcome back everybody to the episode of City Skylines. This game just scared me again for a minute. It wasn't that big of a deal, but my middle mouse button wouldn't work, so I couldn't move the camera around, which is something I do a lot, as you notice. I'm sure a lot of you do too if you play this game. It's like an important part to this, but I started Googling it, and there's really nothing to help me out, and I came back in here and started working. So, that's pretty much how this game works. I mean, it just, for some reason, something stops working, and then it starts working again. Or you download a mod to fix it, because that's usually what you have to do. Anyways, oh, we didn't turn on our network add-on. I have to do that every time, the network skins, to change it to the American road textures. I have to do that every single time, which is just fun. I have to say, you know, I enjoy doing that, but I wish I didn't have to. I really can't say, well, I was supposed to fix this off camera, I'm pretty sure, but I didn't. But that's all good. We can fix this. But yeah, you know, I mean, this game does some weird stuff sometimes, and it's like, it's not a huge deal sometimes, but like when it comes to like a mod having to be created so that you don't have to, so the game doesn't crash and you don't have to do weird things to try and get the game to load, that's where problems start coming in. But you know, well, we can kind of figure it out as we go here. So let me see if I can kind of fix that. That looks better. That looks way better. Okay. I think that looks fine up through there. Does that line up? Yeah, okay. I think that looks pretty good. So we just need to change these to highways, and then we'll be pretty well set for this bridge. Now, what I was thinking of actually doing instead, because I was thinking of creating another connection out here, but I think it would actually look better if we just created a stack interchange here and actually kind of routed this up and around. So I'm thinking it'll kind of maybe come up like this, come over the tracks, and then kind of come around. And, or I was possibly even thinking of just running it like along the tracks and then kind of bumping it up and over at some point. I think that would look better, and it would work better too for this area. It would kind of give another freeway for these guys to get around. The problem with doing, like I was saying with this here, is if we build the airport up over here, it may not work. It may work actually, because we can kind of bump up and over and do kind of an interesting little interchange, kind of getting flow going to the airport. But that's just that's a little ways out. We're gonna focus on just getting this area. Hopefully this, you know, whole layout that we did with this interchange will be able to handle this. I know this is a little tight for like truck traffic, but really that's the best I got right now, so that's what we're gonna work with. Yeah, so I think pretty much what, I'm not too sure yet. I think we're gonna kind of leave things the way they are. I think when we kind of start coming down this way, and even past, because we're going to create a little bit of an interchange, you know, for these roads here, but I think once we get past there, it's pretty much not going to be much more than just a regular road, to be honest with you, or just a regular highway, to be honest with you. It's not really going to be a freeway, per se. It might, well, we're going to kind of play it by ear, too, and just kind of see just how much traffic is coming down there. You know, if it's enough to justify it, then sure, we'll definitely do that. But I don't know if it's really going to be needed at this time. Hopefully I didn't just mess that all up. Let's go to there, and we want this guy. It looked a little odd. It didn't look quite right to me, so. These guys are all going the wrong way, which is great. Yeah, so I want to definitely get into a little bit more detailing into this game, which we will here shortly for sure with the port and stuff. I'll kind of go over what I have in mind for that. But I'm kind of just trying to get, we're just beginning this city and just trying to get everything kind of laid out. And I'm also trying to keep up with other stuff as well, and this game takes up a lot of time. It's crazy. Like, I go back and I look at like the shopping center video, and that was like, what, like a solid 30 minutes? It was like, I believe half the time, because I sped it up 2 times speed. Which, by the way, if these videos ever get kind of, you know, if they start dragging onto you or anything like that, you can go ahead and hit the little gear, if you're on the computer, of course, and you can speed this up too, so you can create your own little time lapse if you want to do that, if you want to see what I'm doing. But you know, it's taking a little bit longer than you would like, you can do that. But you know, it's like that took an hour to build, which is, what is that? I do not recognize that button. Okay. That is very... Okay, I don't recognize that button, so I'm going to have to figure that one out here in a second. But, you know, it's like, that alone took an hour. It's like, that took an hour, and we're up to what, like, maybe, what, 10, 20 episodes of this, and each episode is at least 30 minutes long? So, you know, we're up into the hours upon hours of what we've done, and look, we've got, like, nowhere, to be honest with you. I mean, we're okay, we're getting somewhere, you know, I will say that. I wouldn't say we were not getting anywhere. But it's like, you know, all these projects do take a lot of time and a lot of effort, and it's crazy just how much time goes into this game. You know, you don't realize it when you're playing it, but it's like, well, I'm sure I know I realized it when I would play it, but you know, especially when you're recording it though, it's like, it's a whole nother thing. It's just like, wow, I just spent 4 episodes and we've grown no population. You know, we've been just solely working on just random stuff in the city, and pretty much have gotten nowhere. And it's like, okay. I mean, you know, we've gotten somewhere. I shouldn't say nowhere. You know, I don't know why I'm saying nowhere, but it's still, it's like, oh. I see a problem. I see a big problem, because I believe this side's going the wrong way too, right? But this side's going the wrong way. Okay. So what I think we're going to have to do, I don't even remember, what did we choose for that? Let's go back to this guy. We want to go to elevated, right? Oh man, I don't remember what we chose for those guys. I think it was that one, actually. Looks like that one. It's actually a little bit wider, isn't it? It is. So maybe it's similar, but let's see here. Maybe it was the medium. I think I did the small. Okay, it's the medium. Okay. So it's the medium something arc. Okay. This one here. Okay. Hopefully by doing that, we don't change anything, right? Oh. Okay, we just can't use the tool. That's right. Okay, good. Well, we can probably fix that one up. Is that going the right way now? I guess that's going the right way now. Yeah, okay, we can fix that. Good. Okay, that scared me for a second. I was like, I don't know if this is gonna work out. We just did all this work. Is the bridge going the wrong way, or are those going the wrong way? I think those are going the wrong way. Oh man, it's so hard to tell. Okay, so these... No, it's these. Okay. These are all going the wrong way for sure. So let's do these real quick. These should be going the right way. Okay. Getting confused. Confusing myself a little bit. It's just, there's lack of information. I guess I could just turn on the one-way arrows. That's the whole point of getting those. Alright, so if we just finish these off. So yeah, we have a rail crossing there. We'll see how this ends up. I don't think there's too much rail traffic on there right now, so I think we're okay. Okay, that tells us all we need right there. So we need to go into the upgrade tool and just turn these guys around so that they are facing the right direction. And okay, now the bridge is going the right way. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna kind of leave it like that. Like, that bridge is not gonna get too much use right at the moment. We're just gonna end it right there, which is okay. Because I pretty much decided that we're gonna break it off of this freeway here. So it's actually going to, you know, this freeway, we need to fix this interchange over here too. So there's so much to do. But it's gonna come down, it's gonna come across or come along here and provide nice freeway access to these guys, while also getting you up and over the bridge and over, hopefully, into the industry as well, so we can kind of take some relief off of this road. But that's still going to be a little ways out. This is going to put a little bit of strain on this road, which is, you know, it's okay. It'll be fine in the short term, but the long term, we definitely want to figure ourselves out here. So we got the bridge pretty well figured out. So now what I want to figure out is, where's the interchange going to go? So I'm thinking we want to make sure that we have enough room, but we don't need a huge amount of room. So I'm thinking that we don't need it elevated there. I'm thinking that it'll kind of end up like right here. Actually, what I'm thinking, let's actually switch over to just something with some guidelines. Is that it will actually, we got a fair amount of space. I'm thinking that this area over here is going to be, housing and whatnot, but because I think this is going to be a nice little transition. So this is going to come up here, and I think we'll have some housing up here. And then we're going to kind of, as we come up to this hill, we're going to kind of, not put as much stuff. We're going to kind of build, like the tanks and then some warehouses. But we're going to kind of, maybe on this side we can go a little bit farther. But as we get with the containers and stuff, as we get closer to the hill, I think it's going to kind of thin out a little bit. And then we'll probably just do some trees and whatnot. But then we'll have some, a nice housing development up here. I think it'll fit nicely in this little nook that we have right here. With everything, but we are going to have a little bit of a break here so we can get access to the actual port because we need to. Now, do we want to do it on the other side possibly? I think it would be easier to do it. Well, it might look better coming from the other way, but I think it would actually look. I'm not even really wanting to go off appearances, but I think it's going to work better because then this guy can kind of swoop. Well, if we do this. Yeah, well, we could kind of have this guy kind of swoop up like that. And that would also create a little bit of a less impact on the grade as well of the hill. So it's kind of going to be going up at an angle, so in theory it should be a little bit less steep. And on the other side we can kind of have break off and U-turn a little bit quicker to go back under the bridge. Which could work, but I really don't want to take up too much space over here. Let's see if we do something like that. I also want to make sure we have enough room to actually get the interchange. So if we do something like that, that leaves a fair amount of room. And then how is the grade isn't bad. Grade isn't bad at all. Look at that. Very nice. That actually works pretty well. We can come through and smooth that out a little bit. So it just kind of slowly rides up the hill, which works. And then what I'm thinking is that this guy will kind of come back down and kind of come under here. And then do we want it to kind of line up or do we want it to kind of come up and over? I think we can kind of maybe do something like this and then connect it back in. That's a little bit of a sharp curve, which we could definitely fix with a little bit of tweaking. We could make that actually look really decent if we wanted to. I'm not going to spend too much time trying to, because that actually doesn't look too bad. So kind of something like that. So this will be a little bit, this will be an interchange that autosave interval. I thought 10 minutes would be fine, but freezes up the game every time I try to do that. So I think we're going to do like a little bit of a trumpet interchange here. So it's going to we're going to need a little bit of room to get the bridges and everything up and over, because I think we could either, it's already kind of down low, we could either come under this or over this. Maybe coming under would work better. Yeah, that actually might work better, because this is already kind of up a little bit, and those are already down low a little bit. And so in that case, if I can speak correctly, it'll make things a little bit easier. Okay, let's see. If we come down, if we kind of do that, so we kind of come up to this level, and then we come down to, we want to come down to 12. We're going down by 1, of course. It seems like that's what it defaults to anymore, which is great. So we'll make sure to bring it up to level there. And then we want to go to 2, 4, 6, 8. 10, 12, and we want to make sure that it's that. So if we try to do that, what's the angle? Yeah, look at that. It really doesn't have to come down. It comes down a little bit, but it's pretty good. That's actually really quite good at, what the angle of approach is. And then we could just kind of come straight across if it'll let us, like that. And then those can just bridge up and over that. And then we can kind of work that out from there. So I'm liking that. I'm liking that a lot. And then this side doesn't have to, you know, do any of that. It just merely has to come up a little bit. As it is going to match back up and create a nice little on-ramp there. And then this guy, you know, with this we could almost just get, you know, a flyover type of interchange going. But I don't think we will. I think I want to kind of stick with this because I don't usually build this type of interchange too much. And, you know, I know why I don't. And I know why, you know, a lot of places are kind of not doing it as well. I need to download that mod so you can turn off the white. But I know why a lot of cities are kind of against them as well. And a big reason is just safety. Unless you can get a nice loop, you know, and traffic flow, of course. Safety and traffic flow. If you can create a nice loop, then traffic doesn't have to slow down as much. You know, you know, if they come in a little too fast, they have a lesser risk of hitting the wall. But, you know, if it's a little tight, then traffic has to slow down. And, of course, whenever you have traffic slowing down, that causes a backup. So if you got a lot of cars that you're trying to push through that area, it's best to try and keep them flowing just as much as you possibly can. But, you know, it's not always possible. I mean, you gotta kind of work with what you got. So, alright, so where does the line appear? I think it appears right there. So usually, it appears right there. So I'm gonna go and go like 2. I think we should actually come, maybe even just, should we come straight a little bit? I think we're gonna come a little bit straight, like that. Maybe we can even come up just a little bit as we do that. Just kind of get that taken care of, because we got plenty of room over here. The biggest problem is going to be getting this off ramp on this side to look properly and work properly with going around everything. But aside from that, we've really got a good amount of room. So I'm thinking maybe like that to like that. And where are we at? We are 8 below. So if we come back up like that, that works pretty well. Hopefully we'll have enough room to fit this in. I think we will. Maybe not. Actually, probably not. Look at that. So, should we make this part of the loop a little bit more narrow? So maybe one after the... So that shows up in one more? Ooh, that's looking a little... I mean, that actually doesn't look too bad. Let's see here. Let's finish it off and kind of see how it performs here, how it looks. So it becomes quite narrow, and I really don't like that. I'd kind of like to create a nice big loop if I could. The angle's pretty good, but yeah, it's a little too... And that kind of works actually though. Let's change that to a highway, because that'll give us a little bit better of an idea of what it looks like. And that's not too bad. It's not too bad. I don't know. Something about it just is kind of making me like, I don't know. But like I said, it's not terrible. But at the same time, it's not great either, so... I don't know. If we have it connect after the fact. It just seems a little too tight for the type of traffic that's going to be going out there. And we have a little bit of room to work with. I mean, we do have to get the other guy coming up and around it as well. So if we do, we'll end up having this guy kind of come around. Of course, it's going to come down to level as well. But that's actually not too bad of an angle for that. So I mean, we got room. All right, let's ditch this real quick. If we do this, so let's bring that guy straight out again, just a little bit, and then we can bring it up Just a little bit more. And it comes straight, so a little bit more. And actually, I don't think I brought it up any higher than that. Let's go ahead and delete to there. And let's see here. So the beach is at the end of the tree line there. So if we kind of come up 4 there, and we get out of that view. Yeah, so it'll kind of come straight off like that. Hopefully that's not too much. Alright, so if we get this guy back, and we go back to here, and let's see here, where's the line up here? Do I have the right one? I don't have the right one. There we go. Okay, so the line's right there. So if we do that, and we do that, and we come up to, that would bring us up to 6. And then we bring that, and we do that, and that brings us up to 4. That already looks a little bit better. I don't know if we can fit. Yeah, actually we can. Actually works. Look at that. Stop. Oh, come on, I had it. Oh, it's trying to save. That's what's going on. The game every time I try that. But that brings it right next to the road. Look at that. How is that for planning? Doesn't look perfect, but what it does look, it looks good. And then we can do, oh, it's coming out at an angle over there. What? Alright, so we could kind of break the end a little bit. Oops. Click the right buttons here if we get the right spot that I'm looking for. I don't really want to do it back there, but maybe that'll work. I want to kind of run it along there a little bit. That's what I was most excited about with that first design that we had, but of course I wasn't happy with it. I mean, we could just bring it on right there, but I feel like that just doesn't look right when that happens. Let's go to here, and let's go to here. Can we come straight off of there? Oh, I don't have snapping on. That would be a problem. Okay. So then, I think that's too far. Yeah, that's too far. You can almost, well, what if we used this one instead? Or, not this one, but this one. What if we turned off snapping? That's better. We could almost route that around so it works. But we could also do this as well, which I wasn't thinking about, which would work even hopefully better. Yeah, like that. Okay. And then we could bring and snap this guy back in like that. And then we can grab this guy. And I mean, we got room because it's just the bridge that's coming up here, so that was what I was afraid of what's going to happen, but we can fix that. And then after this point, this road will just become 3 lanes and just meet up with the bridge. Okay, you're going to act like that now. That's what I was afraid of. Okay, so we can still fix this. Just a little bit more work. Yeah, I was thinking of doing this as a time lapse and do it kind of in part with the other with actually building the port, but I wanted to kind of show this off a little bit because I know, you know, interchanges are unique, and it's always nice to see some, you know, get some fresh ideas and kind of see what other people are doing for them. You know, it's always nice to do, so that's why, you know, I like to kind of do this, and then that way I can kind of put out my thinking process as well as to kind of like why I did this or why I didn't do that, or, you know, why I'm going this way instead of that way. And then, you know, you guys can also kind of chime in and be like, hey, why didn't you do this? And then I can be like, oh, well, yeah, let's do that. That works a lot better. And it just works a lot better, you know, in this way I kind of explain it and, you know, prevent or kind of create, you know, nice conversation and make it a lot, you know, nicer for everybody. So is that, it's a little too direct, isn't it? Well, let's upgrade the rest of it here and just see. Oh my goodness. Well, okay, we have a slight problem. Wow, I did not mean to do that at all. I don't know if it's my mouse or what, but I click, and it's like I hear it click. I know I clicked, but yet whatever I clicked on didn't actually work. So, yeah, that's... No, it's not good. Is that going to line up? I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. Is that going to line up straight? Alright. I think we fixed it. Yeah, I think we did. Alright. Let's try this again. Alright, let's go to here. I click on that. I click on upgrade. We are out of the bulldozer. Okay. At least it wasn't too bad to fix, I guess. It could have been a lot worse. Could have been a lot worse. I almost want that to kind of come down a little bit more, but I think that actually works. It's a little bit more, you know, smooth than what we had before, which works. We just need to get the bridge elements in here, but we also need to get the one going on the other side as well. So let's see if we can kind of get that. Maybe we can kind of sneak it in nice and close to here, so we can do home and then 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and then do a shift S. Kind of thinking something like that. I would like it to kind of follow the slope of that one, but I don't know if I'd even be able to do that. Where are we at? We are down 2. Okay, so that's good. We could try to line up with that if we really wanted to. Yeah, that works, right? Yeah, that looks pretty good. It definitely doesn't follow... Well, it follows the slope, kind of. That's not right. Okay, so I really did a number here. Okay. Where does, it is down there. So can I come off of there? Alright, we may have a problem here. Okay, if we do this, just to fix this, to rectify the situation here. So we turn these into bridges so we can kind of see where this guy is supposed to connect. And then we can come down and connect, and then hopefully get straight into there. Perfect. Okay. And that immediately starts going back up right there. So I feel like I need to put some barriers right there for sure. We didn't need to bring that guy quite up as quick as I thought. It actually doesn't look that good coming around that corner right there. I really actually don't like that. So let's fix that. Let's see here. See if we can kind of make that look any better. I think that looks better, and it matches that slope a little bit more. It doesn't look good. Doesn't look that great there though. I'm not gonna be too perfect about it right now. I will come back and probably fix it up, but I'm not gonna do that. You know, I'm not gonna make it a huge deal on camera here. I don't like how it kind of tweaks like that, so I'll definitely have to come back and fix that, but that's looking pretty good. And then let's get this guy, and then we can finish. Let's come back up to ground level, and then we can finish there it is, saving again. And then we can finish the bridging, and then I think that's pretty much gonna call it for this episode. I really try not to make these episodes, or tried not to make this all about this episode, but unfortunately that's what happens. Alright, I want to make that look decent. We have plenty of room. We don't need to. We can kind of, you know, procrastinate a little bit and make it merge a little bit later, but I'd like to make it look better than that. Let's see if we kind of follow that, and then we bring it in. I think that would look pretty good. So we can kind of connect into there. That would probably look good. So we can probably... Oops. Wrong button. So we can probably do something like this. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Actually, yeah, that looks pretty good. And then we have that. This is going to need a little bit of fixing right here. I don't like the variation. We can make that curve a little bit more subtle, but I'll probably do that off camera. Okay, so we need to make... We want to make a bridge, but I only want to make it to the points that are actually needed. So let's say to there, and to... say to there. Alright. And that really all doesn't need to be a bridge. Let's say to... Let's try to there. And let's try to there. Okay. Let's build that as a bridge. We build that as a bridge. And then that's all pretty well bridge. We just need to make that into there, and then that goes into there. There we go. And then that's all good after that point. It's a little rough right there, but I think I'm okay with that for the moment. Alright, and then we'll drag that around, line those up. So those come down. We will fix this little area right here, but those come down together. That one starts going up like right away. But, whoop, send us over to the grass over here. But that looks pretty good. These need to be turned around. Yeah, we definitely have housing demand. Look at that. I was just looking at that. I haven't really paid attention to that because we haven't really been, you know, I haven't really been focusing on growing the area too much at the moment, aside from, you know, just kind of getting the basic infrastructure out of the way. But I definitely want to build out the suburb a little bit more and kind of get that sorted out. Alright, so those will be two, and then that'll actually turn into one of these, as well as this wall as well. That's actually going to be what goes all around this. We'll probably lower the speed limit down on it, which is always fun to do. But, yeah, so I'm going to probably clean this up just a little bit. I don't know if I'll do that right now or some other time, but we'll see. But I think it turned out pretty well. It looks interesting, I will say that. I don't know how I feel about this little kink over here. We will kind of mess with that, but I think all in all it turned out fairly well, and I'm pretty impressed with how it turned out in all my opinion there. So yeah, definitely I'm not a big fan of these style of interchanges, but I think usually like a port is like an older area of the city. It's usually like one of the older areas. It's usually why the city is a city in the first place. And so usually that's like one of the first things that they try to connect up to the freeway, and thus it's usually an older type of interchange, and this is definitely an older type of interchange. While still used today, it's not used as often as it was. You know, we've come up with, you know, better solutions and whatnot as, you know, traffic has changed. So I think this is all good. I think I'm going to be okay with this. And I think it looks pretty good for the area. I'll probably come back and terraform this a little bit. I'm going to kind of fix this up a little bit, which I fixed this area up a little bit. It needs to, I think it still needs to be fixed up just a little bit more, and I want to kind of fix up this curve. But I think aside from that, it's pretty much going to stay the same, and then I'll just, we'll finish this up in the next episode. The next episode might be a time lapse. I'm not sure yet. We'll figure that out when time comes. I don't know if I want to build this area yet, or just kind of open up the port and just kind of let it be used. So, as always, don't forget to like, favorite. I keep saying favorite again. I haven't said that in a long time. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and definitely check out all the other videos I do on this channel. And as always, thanks for watching.